fundamental base of our wisdom and what is the most worth thing to share is our own experience about the things that we know, right? This is the foundation of this class, how we can experience and relate to this theme, understanding that we have an energy field, and this energy field is permanently connecting us to the external world. I want to share with you something I recently came across in a university in Sweden, in Lund University in Sweden. They have conducted a study in which they proved that human beings can perceive the electromagnetic field of the planet. And although this perception is a perception that the researchers realize that is unconscious, the perception exists, that human beings can feel and react to variations in the electromagnetic field of the planet. And this is the theme of today, because everything has an energy field to it. The planet has an electromagnetic field to it. And every being that has electrical impulses and life also has an electromagnetic field. This is what is being understood as the Eighth Chakra or the aura. These are the same thing. When we speak about the Eighth Chakra, we speak about the sum of the energies of our chakras. For those who don't know what chakras are, they are levels of awareness that symbolically are represented by a vortex of energy that is connected to our spine. So the chakras are instances of consciousness that makes us relate to ourselves or life in ways that are very specific. And when the journey of the seven chakras, we can say in Kundalini Yoga, is understood, and you connect to the seven elements and seven forces and consciousness in yourself, the electromagnetic field will have more power. Your particular field of energy will have more intensity. This is something that for many, many years was a very esoteric knowledge. And in the 20th century, it became more and more popular knowledge that people started to speak about chakras, to talk about energies, about life force. And people started to relate to this unseen and unconscious dimension in a manner that was more than just curiosity. The relationships that we have, the connections that we have with people, precisely are taking place in which our eighth chakra or aura is fundamental. We have connections with people that are mind to mind. But if you go back in time when you were a little child, or if you are nearby children, you will see that they are very sensitive. And a child will sometimes look at someone and dislike a person, dislike and would like to actually avoid certain people. And we're not talking about shy children. We're talking about normal children that sometimes just basically pick up certain traits or characteristics of people and they react to them, disliking them. That is because their aura, their sensitivity, their electromagnetic emanation of energy into the environment is rather pure and it is available for them. There's no stimulation that they have had that has somehow distorted their perception of life and people. But as we grow up, and it happens to all of us, we start to get too much connected to artificial sources of energy. We start eating in manners that do not boost our capacity to sense or see things that are subtle things in life. And in this process, we lose this ability to perceive consciously the impact of the energy of other people. We just simply unconsciously react to that. This is exactly what these researchers in Sweden discovered, that we can perceive the electromagnetic field of the earth. And by extension, I'm sure that one day they will also realize that we can perceive the electromagnetic field of others. But we're not conscious of that perception. Our physiology gets altered when the electromagnetic field of our planet gets also changed. And this is something that happens to all of us. Some people perceive it, some people, the majority, don't. So I wanted to bring some light to this subject, because our connection and our sixth sense and our intuitions, our instincts, all of it requires that we are in our own space, safe and contained. If we are not safe and contained, we are not having the strength to emanate that energy into the environment. Now, this energy is the energy that combines the 7 chakras. That's why it's important that you will learn a little bit, if possible, about the 7 chakras. From the base of your spine up, there's grounding energies, then there's social, creative, sexual energies at the 2nd chakra, then there willpower, vision, and personality sort of consciousness and energies at the 3rd chakra. That's the 4th chakra, the energy of love, the energy of integration and compassion and forgiveness. The 5th chakra is the energy of communication and manifestation through the power of the word. The 6th chakra is the energy of deep understanding beyond the logical mind. It's an understanding beyond the contraction of linear, rational, mental process. And the 6th chakra allows us to have the deepest intuitions of our soul. And the 7th chakra is the one that connects us to the infinity, is where we can be perceiving ourselves as part of a larger and universal, immortal being, and we are part of that. So these 7 layers, the 7 points of energy and consciousness, when they combine, which they do all the time, it's not that they combine in certain occasions, they are combined all the time. And that creates the 8th chakra. That creates the aura. It's the combination of forces that we are having and containing in ourselves, in our consciousness. And that doesn't lie. It's not about what we think we are, it's about what we truly are. And children and dogs and cats, sensitive beings that are instinctive and eventually even more connected to survival, true survival instinct, not the fear that humans have that we are not going to be able to make it one more day, but the instinct of animals and children gives them that ability to perceive the overall energy of a human being. In most of the cases, of course, not always. Animals are very sensitive. So what happens with us is that our aura is doing so much for us all the time. There's so much that the aura is creating in our lives that we need to pay attention to it. Because the aura and our energy doesn't lie. We, with our mind, create certain ideas and we create certain fantasies about who we are and what we need to do in life and how we need to present ourselves to the world. But this is a concept. It's a concept that we create for fulfilling certain tasks. But the truth is that our energy is constantly there, radiating its power. It is making our selves known by the universe around us. And this is constantly happening. So let's put our aura to the examination now. Imagine that you have in one week, one day has 24 hours. 1 week has how many hours? 24 times 7 is nearly 150 hours. Estimate. If in these 150 hours your energy is depressed, your mind, your body is in a state of depression, low mood, hopelessness, pain. But then in these 150 hours of the week, you have a couple of hours in which you are very effective, very sharp. And in those 2 hours of the week, you are productive and you're a good professional, let's say. Well, then at the end of the month or in some time, you realize that you're not achieving your goals. And you think to yourself, well, but I have been every week working hard, doing things productively, and being in a mood of creativity and really like the world is mine. I own the world with that attitude, but only for those 2 hours a week. Well, what happens is that the rest of the time, when your aura, when your energy, when your mood, all of it is depressed, is sending information to the universe, is constantly emanating and radiating the energy of your being and the consciousness of your being to people around. And then we wonder why I am not achieving my goals, why I am not being in good terms with my workmates, my relationships, when I am at least in some moments of my week doing a really good job. The reason is because the impact of our aura is constant. It doesn't matter if you have good moments during the week or month where you are clear, sharp, and creative, if the rest of the time your energy is low. Therefore, we can explain with this example why we don't achieve, why we don't become or consolidate the tasks and the opportunities that we want to consolidate and achieve. If our aura is not clear and is not stable, I think this is the word, stability. The aura, by its very nature, is not stable. The aura, it's a momentary expression of your energy field. It's a momentary expression of the mood, of the energies of your chakras, of the consciousness that you have. If that is not consistent, your aura will reflect that lack of consistency. And you will not be able to keep nurturing your projects and feeding with the right energy the things that are worth in your life, because your aura and your mood is not consistent. One thing that you could do that will always reset the emanation of energy that comes from you is water. Water. Whenever you take a shower, whenever you dip yourself in a lake, in a tub, in a river, in the sea, your aura gets reset. This is something that is known, and this is something that we should take seriously. Sometimes we just need to wake up our energies and mind by taking a shower, and if it's cold, that's even better. Test it yourself. When you feel low, when you feel not ready for something, take a shower and you will reset your energy and you will feel more present and clear. The aura is the responsible of the messages we send to the world which are not said by our words and our literal written and verbal expression that we share with others. That's not what actually the universe reads. The universe, the field, I like to speak about the field. The field of reality is adapted to our field, and that is a reaction to our field. What happens around us, it is a reaction to what is happening inside of us. And the aura is the bridge. So changing the aura, shifting the aura, is a way of shifting the relationships that you have with the world. Taking care of purifying your aura is a way to clarify the connections you have with people and situations in life. Therefore, the aura is a body, we can say. It's a dimension of our beings that we need to also look after. We look after our food because the body needs it. We look after our meditation because our mind needs it. We look after our vitality, and we do it with pranayama or breathing because we need it to fulfill life. We need to also look for our aura and shake ourselves off from energies that are stuck in our energy field. And this is the healing aspect that I want to go through today with you. I want to share with you simple exercise. It's a kriya, 4 or 5 exercises, but it's a good kriya that help, and we're not going to really exert our energies into it, but we're going to move the energy of our aura to clarify the expression of our being. This kriya works in such a way that you will feel that you are more present in the moment. When you're present in the now, you're capable to affect the field around you in a manner that you won't be able if your mind is dreaming. We are very much dreamers of our own life, and the mind is giving us constant thoughts to relate to, or there's internally an endless dialogue that disconnects us to the now, and it's now where the energy is flowing all around. It's like ripples. You know, when you throw a stone in the lake, you see these ripples going, and that is constant. We are in our breath, in our brain, in our emotional body, producing ripples that go and expand beyond even our sight, our home, our neighborhood, even beyond our country. This is so powerful and is so real. If you learn yoga, you will learn one thing, and that thing will make your life very different. And that is that the stillness of your energy can create the miracles in life for things that you truly need to come to you. It's the stillness of your mind and heart that creates a different emanation of energy that goes around your body and beyond your body. That stillness, when achieved, gives the moment to the soul, to the light within, to properly express its light, its wisdom, its beauty in all 4 corners of the universe. The rest of the time, the aura is just responding to our emotional variation, our mental processing, our fears of the past. And therefore, the aura is now sending messages that are not powerful, are not consistent, are just basically, nothing that can build up a beautiful life. What builds a beautiful life is you, is your ability to manifest, to generate something from your life within. This is the key of life. It has nothing to do with energies outside. The only energy outside that is truly relevant and significantly determining is your aura. That's the only energy outside that is really one that you can direct. But for that, coming into that stillness and centeredness in your soul is necessary. Yeah? Without that connection to the soul, which happens in silence, it happens in the intimacy. It's a state. It's a consciousness. And when you build up a life that revolves around that, boosting that soul, boosting that energy, you become consistent to hold your own space. Your space means the space around you, the space that is built and anchored inside. But that space, you build it when you feed that essence in you. And holding your space is your responsibility. As adults, we are different to children. Children cannot hold themselves. They cannot carry themselves. They need to be carried. They are more vulnerable. We need to hold our own space of consciousness. And it cannot be that we hold it some moment and then we just deny that and then go into going crazy, because that creates instability in our energy field. And we cannot properly hold the space if we're not clear with what we want to make out of our life. We are all given this life, and this life is unique for us to experience the beauty of it and to manifest the things that this soul comes to share with the world. Every soul comes to share something with the world. There's absolutely no exception to this. In my practice of healing, I see people sometimes very confused, not knowing what they are supposed to do. But that is because the mind has taken over the energy of that person and has established that the mind has to decide and clarify what is the destiny. And that's not the job of the mind. It is the voice inside. It is the essence, the power of your soul that can only establish the right journey for you. And therefore, when you connect to that level, confusion disappears. You just know. It's a knowing. It is an experience of the deepest reality that gives you knowing. Knowing what is right to do. Knowing the direction of life. And when that is there, you vibrate that energy in your surroundings. That's the 8th chakra. That is the aura. And that is there to serve you. Your aura is there to serve you, to generate instances around you in which you can connect with the right people and attract the right opportunities and repel the threats to your integrity or your destiny. That is what your aura is doing all the time. But if you're aware of this, you have a tremendous grip on the progression of your destiny. This is not something to become really obsessed with, like all is about the aura, but it's a good aspect of ourselves that we can involve to make things work for us in a way that is more natural. Because if we really try hard, sometimes even so much we try, we don't achieve, we don't get to any peaceful place in our hearts by trying and trying and trying. But when we give energy to the self, that energy in ourselves starts to emanate and it starts to configure the environments. And so we don't have to obsessively try to control and manipulate the environments. Rather, is the stability of our space, mental space, emotional space, through our aura, which is actually making things configure in a manner that is effective. The aura is something that has provided the human being the ability to merge with each other. And so what happens often is that when we are in contact with another person, there's parts of the energy of that person that stays with you. That energy stays in your mind, in your emotions, but also your energy field. And you can carry that energy field for some period of time, especially when the relationships are very intimate. That's when the auras get much more exchange with each other, and you carry the energy of the person for much longer time. But we can clear, and we can also use this intimacy and merging with others to create beautiful bonds with souls that we are to encounter in this life. I want us to have a very simple yet specific practice for clearing our aura. And so we can feel that we are doing something that helps us not only to understand this, but also to set our energies in the right place. And then trust that that energy we're setting will have an impact. And if we keep feeding that energy in that consistent manner, that impact in the universe starts to create more and more good circumstances for us to go through. So